So here I am getting my front axle ready. I've welded this spindle on already. You can see the nickels I stacked there. Kind of little error there. But this is going to be the front. Putting a little plate in the middle. I'm going to attach the front spindle like so. Got another spindle to go on this side. That front vertical one will rest inside this hub and provide me with the steering that I need. Stay tuned. Here's a quick mock-up of what it's going to look like. Front wheel's not actually in place, but it is riding on the axle. I love those all-terrain tires. Gives it an aggressive look, which I really like. Keep you posted. What's up, YouTube? I got my rear axle built. You can see the spindle is there, a little on the end. The other side, my other axle spindle in here. I actually packed this up with some bearing grease and some ready rock and roll. I am working on this side. Some process here. What's up, YouTube? I'm back. I am in the process of getting my axles together. I've got them welded on, the spindles at least, onto the 2-inch square tube. This side over here, as you can see, I've already not only welded the spindle on, but I've already packed the bearing and sealed the hub on there. And we are a-spinning. So what I'm about to do is the other side. And I'll take you along for the ride. Set up my tripod here. Take it down. Grab a couple shop towels because this can be a little bit of a mess. So, no expert at packing bearings. I've only done it a couple of times, and I figured since this isn't a trailer that's going out on the road, you know, I don't have to get it to the point that it is like super packed inside the hub. But I am going to get some of the grease in there. So what I like to do is get this all in there, inside the bearing. Definitely good idea to wear gloves while doing this. I don't know about you, but I don't want all the grease all over my skin. And gloves definitely help to protect you. Just working my way around, squeezing it in to the Reese, I believe it's called. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. So I like to get it good and packed in there as best I can. Both sides here. And once I got this one packed in, this will be my, I guess, inside bearing. Put a little grease inside the hub, which you probably can't see. Since I got this grease all over my fingers, I probably won't lift it up for the camera. But you can imagine me sticking my finger inside this hub. Alright, so I've got it in the hub. And I got it on my bearing here. This is, again, the inside bearing. Drop that in place. Try to get some of this extra grease in there. Next, I gotta put the, where did I do with it? There it is. The seal on here. I'm actually gonna try to get some of this grease off my hands, so when I grab my hammer and my wood block, I don't get too much grease all over my hammer, at least. I hate when I'm working with oily, greasy things and I have to handle tools, and then the next time I handle that tool with no gloves on, I'm cursing myself. Alright, that's pretty good. Block of wood. I'm gonna give it a couple taps. Try to seat the seal. There we go. It's on there. So you can see, got my seal on there, and I got some grease inside the hub. Going to lube up the axle spindle here. Now the other side, I had a little issue trying to get the cotter pin in after tightening. And I'm not using any kind of wrench or anything. I'm just hand tightening, maybe a couple taps with a hammer and a screwdriver, but I'm not doing anything other than that. I had some trouble getting that cotter pin in. I don't know if the hole on that side just wasn't enlarged enough or what. But hopefully this one will go in without any issue. So here we go. Got my Alright, let's pack the second one. This is the, I guess, the outside bearing. I guess one of the good things about this is it's not a trailer axle, so I don't have to really worry too much about it. It's going to be like a little backyard thing. So I'm not worried about these bearings failing. At least I hope I don't have to worry about that. You know, it's not going to get that many miles on it just traveling between the garage and the yard. Let's try the other side here. lubricated there. Gonna slide that in with a little bit of grease. Alright, she's in there. Let's try to get this excess off of my fingers here. And continue with the process. Got a washer to put on, and then a retaining nut, spindle nut, and then my cotter pin. It's funny, I was watching a video on repacking bearings the other day, just to refresh my memory on the process. And the guy on the video was calling them Carter pins. I'm like, Carter pins? What is he talking about? I've always known them to be called cotter pins. But maybe that's what he grew up with them being called. Alright, so got my washer and my spindle nut. We're spinning. Now here's where I like to give it a couple of taps with the hammer, just to seat the bearings pretty well. Just going to tap on the spindle nut, just to turn it slightly. Turn it back. Because I did read the directions, and the manufacturer suggests hand tightening. The spindle nut only, hand tightened. After they recommend torquing it to 30 to 40 foot-pounds. I'm not doing all that simply because it's not really a trailer. And last step is my cotter pin, which is right here. Let's see how this one goes in. Same thing. Let's get a better angle so you can see. Now this one should definitely go in because I did check prior to packing the bearings and everything. I did check off camera just to see that, you know, this pin would go through. So I'm guessing my spindle nut, maybe that's not on enough, that it's blocking some of the opening. That's the only conclusion I can come to. Grab a flashlight. Oh yeah, looks like some of the opening is blocked. So I'm going to try to get my cotter pin on after I tighten the spindle nut a little bit more. tighten it a little bit more. See if I can get one more rotation on this. Oh, maybe there's a spindle nut wrench. I don't have one, but can't imagine this is the process. Trying to get a large. Yeah, I'm gonna tighten it too much. Try to get a large adjustable in there and tighten it up. Let's see how this one goes. This attempt goes. Let me pause and try to find an adjustable wrench. All right, I'm back. I'm not sure if you can see, but I ended up, I guess, pulling apart the legs of the cotter pin and getting one leg down and one leg on the outside. I don't know, it was just too difficult to try to get both legs into the same hole. Just wasn't fitting. And I would be more concerned if this were a trailer going out on the highway and byways of New Jersey. But since it's not, and it's only going to be in my driveway and yard, I'm not too concerned. So, cotter pin is in. So the spinning. Next is the cap. Get a little bit of lube on the end, hopefully to ease in getting this to seat correctly. Hopefully. Now I saw some guy also just put some around. Try to keep dust, debris, water. Well, not that I anticipate a whole lot of that, but you never know. All right, let's grab our block. Of course, that's not going in straight. Why would it? Why would anything go right? There we go. All right, got that one. So rear axle is complete. Moving on to phase 2 of this operation, which is, and I'll show you in a minute, take these gloves off. So what I ended up doing was a little bit of a pain, actually. The original caster sat here, and I ended up making another leg for it to stand on. As you can see, that leg is raised. I did that for 2 reasons. One, so that it would sit level. The unit would sit level, front to back. And also, when I added the 10-inch, or 12-inch, I should say, golf cart tires, it raised the height of the smoker. So, there's the front. I'll show you that in a minute. In order for it to sit level, I had to actually add another leg and sit it there and fabricate that. So my axles are going to go, as you can see, got a plate here. It's going to go on the bottom of that plate and attach that way. And then I'll throw on these other rims here, golf cart wheels, and show you how that looks. And hopefully it'll all sit level again. The front, I'm still working on. If you remember from the previous video, I got the 5th hub mounted here. And I don't know if you recall, but the plate here was only about this wide. So what was happening was the hub was a little bit closer to this edge here. And underneath where it mounts, it was hitting this 2x2 square tube and not allowing the spindle to turn once it was inside the 2" by 2" tube that I have mounted on that axle, the front axle. So I ended up taking some things apart, extending this plate over about another 6 inches, re-drilling some holes there for the 4 lug nuts, and using the plasma cutter to cut out the center for the hub. And still got some finish work to do to grind down these welds and finish that up. But this is sitting on the axle now. I'm obviously going to take off these casters. I'm going to take off this plate. I'm just going to cut it straight along the bottom here and get rid of that completely. And then I will get my steering mechanism coming out. It'll probably be somewhere like right around there. This is the handle I'm going to use, the T handle. And we'll see how it goes. Right now I'm going to get this mounted up. So let's get on to that. Position is jack. tighten them up. Washer. All right. Tighten them up. All right, got those on. Next step, I'm gonna jack her up and put some rims on her. Be back in a minute. All right, mounting this tire. So I don't know if I said this in an earlier video, but I got these 12-inch from a golf cart tire supplier online. I will put a link and a description of them in the description in case you're interested in them. These are Trex brand wheels, and I believe the model is called the Maverick. The color is bronze. I really like the color, and I thought it would look nice against the black of the smoker, which isn't quite black yet, but it'll get there, I imagine. But nevertheless, that's where we are right now. Just gonna get these tightened. Not really gonna torque them down to any specs, for the simple fact that it's not going anywhere, except in my yard. Be back in a minute. All right, so there it is. Give you a good look at those wheels. Again, these are Trex. The color is bronze, 12-inch. The model is the Maverick. There is a center cap, which I guess I can get and throw those on as well in the back. process. Don't exactly know how that goes on. Have to figure that out. It sure doesn't fit over the hub. Alright, I'm going to continue with working on my front here, and I'll keep you posted. What's up? I'm back. I finally got it pretty much complete. What I've done so far is I've got the rear axle built and painted. Might be a little bit difficult to see, but there's the rear axle. And I just finished working on the front axle. I have not painted that, and I made my handle, my little T-handle there. I'll show you how that works. So I got a little hook here, and I can turn and steer, and it's not really difficult at all. Just that I'm trying to do it with one hand here. So what I did was I saw a lot of guys use a 5th hub and spindle. That's what's mounted there. It's not complete, obviously. I don't have all the screws in, but I've just test fitting it. I did grease that spindle and the parts that fit inside of it, just for a final test fit and to see how it would steer and maneuver, and everything's going well. I am going to add some bump stops so that I can't turn the wheel maybe past like that point there. So I'll add maybe some vertical bump stops like right under here, attached to the frame. I don't know if you can see that, but right under here attached to the frame so that the axle can't go beyond that point. I'll do that on both sides so that when turning, I don't hit the the knobs on the tires and get caught up. But there's what it looks like. Give you a little walk around of it. Step back a little bit here. The backside I actually spray painted black. So I'm considering spray painting the whole thing black and then going over it with some of the linseed oil, just to kind of, because that linseed oil kind of puts a protective coating from what I understand. So this I just left natural and put linseed oil on it, and I don't know if you can see the gloss on the stack there, but it's really glossy and it looks like it would repel water pretty well. So I'm hoping that if I paint the pit and add some linseed oil to it and bring it up to temperature, then I'll kind of get the same effect. But she's coming along. Now my barbecue, a little plaque there, I do plan on eventually centering it in the firebox area there, because it definitely isn't centered. I don't know what I was thinking when I put it there. Sometimes I get so excited about doing something that I kind of just lose track and don't plan ahead as well as I should. And that's what happened with this 5th spindle. I started welding it before I actually tested it to make sure everything was going to function properly. But my plaque here, I believe, and I ordered some already, I'm going to paint that same color as the wheels, which is a metallic bronze. I don't know if you can see that. And I did figure out how to get the hub cover on. Goes on from the hub side of the wheel. You don't put it on from the outside. So I got them on the front. And the bronze paint that I bought is a brand called Stove Bright. It's a high temperature paint. It's a little on the expensive side for this one can. I think it was, with shipping and everything to get here, was about 25 bucks. But supposedly it's pretty good. The rest of the pit is going to be the high heat Krylon, high heat max. And in fact, it says it's good up to 1200 degrees. We'll see what it does on that firebox. I'm sure that it will peel off, but hopefully the linseed oil will protect it. Don't know. If anybody has any experience with that, leave me a comment, let me know. But here it is. Let me know what you think. Any comments or questions you have. And I'll put a link in the description to the wheels and the hubs and spindles, just in case you're interested.